gonbidatua, bera Hego Afrikako ANC alderdiko zuzendaritzako kidea da. Mundu mailan erreferentziazkoa den askapen prozesua eraman zuten aurrera, orain dela 3 hamarkada, apartheidaren kontra eginez eta gehiengo eta hegemonia berriak sortuz. Good morning, Andile.
Yeah, no, morning.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for being in the National Congress of EH Bildu. Is it your first time in Euskal Herria?
No, it's my first time coming here in a wonderful, beautiful country, beautiful people who are fighting, who are waging a serious battle, where they are fighting for self-determination, which we supported them as the African National Congress, the ANC. We know your pain. We have also been in the struggle for a number of years until 1994, where we received our political breakthrough, where we were supported by the international community, especially the anti-apartheid movement, which was all over the world, which supported our struggle. That is why we are here in your conference. We support your struggle, we support your people, that you must be able to succeed, you must be able to have your own freedom, where you can be able to decide the development of your own people in your own country.
As far as I know, yesterday you had the opportunity to visit Iruña with the mayor, with Joseba Sirón, and you get to know the history of the Basque Country. What do you know about our nation and our movement?
Now, what we know about our nation is a beautiful nation. We know from the history of kingdoms, even post the kingdoms. We know the indigenous languages which we speak in your own language, in your own nation, which I think they must all be protected, they must be nurtured, they must also be taught in your own school, they must be able to be preserved, they must be able to be archived. It is a wonderful and a beautiful history. I think when I come back again, I'll be able also to visit the farming community and go to the mountains in your own country to be able to interact with the ordinary people in your own country.
How important is the relationship between movements at an international level?
No, it's very important, especially for progressive forces. It's what we have emphasized even yesterday, which also your conference will be able to reflect on those issues, which will also be able to learn from your own conference, where we're saying we must be able to transform the institutions of international governance at the international level, where even small nations like South Africa, like your own, the Basque Country, must be able to participate at the same level with old big nations which have been dominating the world. That's why we talk about what is called the multipolar world, where we're saying we must be able to move away from the unipolar world, where we've been dominated by US and its own allies. We need balance, the transformation of the Security Council. We must be able to change and tamper with the Bretton Woods institutions like your World Bank, your IMF. We must make sure that the institutions which monitors, which talks about peace, talks about the human rights in the world, they are stronger, they are enhanced, they are transformed, they are given more powers, including your ICJ, including the ICC, which all of them must be able to be supported so there can be human rights across the board. The small nations must not be abused because people, what we talk about what is called the human race. People are equal all over the world.
The African National Congress was created by Nelson Mandela as a liberation movement in opposition to the apartheid. How would you explain to our podcast listeners what the anti-apartheid movement was?
Yes, Nelson Mandela didn't create, he became a leader and a member of the ANC. It's an organization which was created by ordinary people in South Africa after the wars of land dispossessions. Because people in South Africa, they fought for more than 15 wars in the wars of land dispossessions, where they were dispossessed their own land. Later, missionaries then came to South Africa. And then there was then what was called the early African intellectuals, which then formed the ANC which it became the tool and the asset in the hands of ordinary people, where they then fought for the liberation until they attained their own liberation. As I've said earlier, that the anti-apartheid movement then supported a number of countries, supported here in Europe, in Africa, in Latin America, in Asia. They then supported the ANC up to where it then had its own liberation. I think what we needed to do is to revive the same anti-apartheid movement, which it must then continue with the struggle to help yourselves in the past countries, to help people of Chopa, where they are fighting against the economic blockage, to help the people of Palestine who are being massacred, the genocide which have been committed by Israel in Palestine. As we are saying, even today, the people of Gaza needs to be defended. They need to be protected in Gaza, because that piece of land belongs to the people of Gaza, to the people of Palestine. You cannot allow a mindless president from the US with a small mind like a bat to say, no, we will remove those people in Gaza. You need the anti-apartheid movement to stand with the people of Palestine. We must continue standing with the people of Western Sahara, especially the Polisario Front, as they are also fighting for the self-determination, which you must stand with yourselves in your own country, which you must be able to fight for the self-determination, which you must be assisted by the anti-apartheid movement, all of us, the progressive forces, the socialists, the left forces, the liberation movements all over, even in Africa, which you must continue supporting your cause.
Did you have the opportunity to be here in the Congress? What do you think about this Congress?
No. We have high expectations about the outcome of the Congress. We are happy to be to be attendance in this Congress. We are happy that we have been inducted with people like you, are very lovely, you are very friendly in your own country. We are happy. Also the hospitality. Since we have arrived on first day, we've been meeting number of delegations, number of groups. We've been having number of inductions with number of comrades, which have been very happy.
Okay, thank you, Andile. It's been a pleasure to have you here. Hope to see you soon, and thank you. Eskerrik asko.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'll be able to speak your language and say eskerrik asko all the time. I'm going to learn your local language, not Spanish. I don't want to learn colonial languages, English, Spanish, French, Portuguese. I want to only to learn the indigenous local languages.
Eskerrik asko.